everyone, this is Maria from Physio. I prepared for you today a short prenatal Pilates class. So this class is suitable for all trimesters. All you need for the class is a mat, and if you have a soft ball like this, or otherwise a cushion or a pillow, or maybe a couple of cushions, a pillow, something that you can use to squeeze, will be great. We're going to make our start in sitting. You can do this sitting on a chair or sitting on a gym ball if you've got a gym ball at home, or just simply cross-legged seated. All those options are good. You just need to choose what feels more comfortable for your body. So the first thing we're going to do is just create a little bit of movement on the spine to get warmed up, and then we'll go through a little bit of a specific pelvic floor work. So make your way, as I said, into either cross-legged seated or sitting on a chair or on a gym ball if you've got one at home. And let's just start focusing on our sort of center of the body, or the ribcage area, the thoracic spine area. And we're going to start doing gentle circles. You're really going to feel how the weight changes on the sitting bones, the pelvis as well. But just focus again on doing the movement through the midsection of your body. The ribcage area and the thoracic spine will get stiffer as you get bigger throughout the pregnancy. So obviously as your belly expands and the baby grows, you'll have less mobility on this part of the body. So this is good just to try to create a bit more movement or just maintain the mobility you have at the moment. And let's just reverse. It's always one direction that feels more natural. So just think of moving the other way. Feel again both sitting bones as you go side to side, how you feel slightly more one than the other. So one more time. And then we're going to come back to the middle. From here, we're just going to shrug the shoulders and bring them up, breathe in, and just let them relax. Drop down, breathe out. And go ahead and repeat again. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, shoulders down. And let's repeat it again. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Let's make this into a shoulder roll. So inhale as you start bringing the shoulders up. Exhale as you drop them down and back. And repeat again with breath. Inhale. And exhale. And let's repeat it the other way. Inhale and exhale. Keep it moving. And relax. Great. So from here we're going to keep focusing on the breath with the idea of activating your pelvic floor muscles. For this, I want you to picture your spine very straight on whichever position you're on. So if I go to my side, you can see my back a little bit better. I want you to have it fairly straight, so I can try to avoid this or this. Again, if you are towards the third trimester, see your baby bump will be quite big at this stage, and so the back will naturally tend to be more arched. So see if you can maybe soften it a little bit and try to find a lengthened position, or as lengthened as you're able to. And then try to feel your sitting bones, so the two bony bits I was just mentioning before during the rotations with you. And you want to try to have even weight on both of them, so you're not shifted to the right or the left. And then if you think of your pubic bone and your tailbone, so the front and the back of the pelvis, I want you to try to keep them sort of on the same line, which again should help you to avoid sort of dropping too back or too forward. Yeah, so it's not just your lower back, it's also your pelvis trying to stay neutral. If it helps you, you can take a couple of rolls forwards and back with your hands on the hip bones here, and just try to feel again your back and your pelvis moving, and then stopping onto that nice landing position. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the hands at the base of the tummy, at the base of your belly bump, if you're already showing. And we're going to start breathing. For this, I'm just going to turn to face you again. So just take a deep breath in and just feel your belly expanding. And then take a deep breath out and feel your belly drawing down and in slightly. And repeat it again. Breathe in, expand the belly. Breathe out, feel your belly drawing down and in. You can also try to feel your ribcage expansion, which is a bit harder to do, but you can also try to think of expanding your ribs out as you inhale. And feel your ribs closing down as you exhale. And that should happen at the same time as your belly expands, as your belly draws down and in. So as you inhale, ribs open, belly expands. As you exhale, the ribs close, the belly draws down and in. Let's just do it one more time if you want with your hands here. And then come back again to the base of your belly bump or the base of the tummy, because it's going to give you a bit of a visual feedback, tactile feedback once we start activating pelvic floor. So we're going to try to activate pelvic floor when we exhale, and we'll try to release the pelvic floor when we inhale. So before we go into that, just to explain how you get your best or the strongest pelvic floor activation, you need to think of both back passage and front passage. If you heard that, it's one of the cats, so ignore the noise, the meowing. So you want to think of both back passage and front passage. So the way you connect to your back passage is as if you think if you have to pass wind, but you don't want to, and you can try to stop you from passing wind. So that's how you connect back passage, and you usually feel a little bit the glutes going along with that, but you don't want to think of your gluteal muscles doing all the work, if that makes sense. And then the front passage, which is more the front wall, where your vagina and the urethra is, you can think of the images as if you had a tampon and you want to elevate the tampon, or as if you want to squeeze your partner. And that usually goes associated with a bit of a lower tummy activation. So you would probably feel how your belly bump gets a bit more compacted or almost elevates a little bit. And I always like the image of having the baby. So you will probably feel that too. But again, try not to think of just your abdominal muscles, even if you feel them. Always the main contraction needs to be the deep system, your pelvic floor. So we're going to try that. Take a deep breath in, inhaling, expanding the belly. Exhale. Feel your belly drawing down and in. And as you feel the drawing in, begin to think of that connection through back passage, then front passage, and again think of having your baby. And then just inhale, let it go, relax. Expand the belly again. Exhale, begin to draw your belly down and in, and then thinking of your back passage, front passage, and then hug the baby. Inhale, let it go. Let's repeat it again. So expand again. Exhale, think again of drawing down and in to the belly, and then start thinking of your pelvic floor from the back passage to the front, again to that sensation of having your baby. And then inhale, let it go. So the other thing is, I'll show you again from the side. When you do the activation, your back shouldn't be moving, so we need to focus on staying nice and upright. And again, the reason why we connect from back to front is because the research shows that that's when you get the strongest activation to your pelvic floor muscles. So that's why we think first, or always cue first from back passage to front passage. Okay, so let's just repeat it one more time. Inhale here, focus again on your back position, expand the belly. Exhale, draw your belly down in. Connect again, back passage, front passage, hug baby. And then release. And we're just going to repeat it, but now we're going to try to hold this for 5 seconds. You can breathe, of course, during those 5 seconds, but maybe don't breathe too deeply so we don't let go completely. And if you feel you're letting go or losing a bit your pelvic floor connection, then you can find it again. So we'll practice these 2 times, and then we're going to start adding movement, so it's a bit more fun and also a bit more functional because you're in the we're moving. So we're going to inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, draw your tummy, your belly down in. Feel again the connection through back passage, front passage. Hack the belly and try to hold for 5. Breathe when you need to. Try not to lose it. If you lose it, just reconnect again. 2, 1, and then relax. Let it go. Inhale. And let's repeat it again. Exhale. Draw your tummy in. Engage from back passage to front passage. Hack the baby and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Great, so we're going to try to keep working with that 5-second hold squeeze, but we're going to change our position. We're going to come on to kneeling. You can use a cushion for your knees if your knees get a bit uncomfortable. And I'd like you to place, if you've got a softball like this, place it between the knees or between the thighs. If you don't, you can use again a cushion or a pillow maybe folded so you can have something in between the thighs with the idea of squeezing. Okay? It needs to be sort of wide enough so your legs stab at hip width, not too narrow. And you can have your toes stacked under or flat, whatever feels more comfortable. And just check that you can kneel down, or maybe not all the way down. You could always modify it. If you're a bit uncomfortable like this, you don't have to sit all the way down. But just check that you can actually come up onto high kneeling and then back down, so either all the way down or almost all the way down to the heels. So that's the movement we're going to try to practice, but along with your pelvic floor connection. We're going to start with the arms now on front of us. Palms facing in, maybe connect a little bit the shoulder blades. Keep your back lengthened, so just notice how my back is fairly straight. I'm trying not to slouch. We're going to inhale here, expand the belly. Exhale, draw your belly down and in. Start thinking again of that connection through back passage, front passage. Hack the baby, squeeze the ball or a cushion, whatever you got, and then try to hold it as you come up. Hold it for 5, stay engaged, 4, 3, 2, 1, then release, come all the way down, breathe in. You can relax the arms for a moment, you can adjust the ball or the cushion if you need to, and we're going to repeat it again. Take the arms back on front, inhale, exhale, draw your tummy in, begin to connect back passage, front passage, hack the baby, feel with your tummy, feel with the glutes, come up, stay engaged, keep squeezing on the cushion of the ball, stay tall for 5, stay engaged 4, don't let it go. If you lose it, connect again, 2, 1, and release. Release the arms for a moment, one more time. Let's come back again, arms here, connect the blades, inhale, prepare, exhale, draw in, think of that sensation. You don't want to pass wind, squeeze your partner, hack the baby, come up, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Very good. So we're going to change a little bit what we do with the arms. We're going to add more movements and we're going to make this a bit more dynamic. So rather than holding it for 5, we're just going to lift and lower. So we'll be exhaling to lift, inhaling to come back down. So trying again to connect the pelvic floor and disconnect pelvic floor as we come up and down. The arms will be starting here, palms down this time, and they're going to be moving down as we come up. So we'll start here, inhale. Exhale, connect again through pelvic floor. So back passage, front passage. Hack your baby, squeeze the cushion of the ball, come up, and then take the arms back, connect the blades. Think a bit of that postural correction on the shoulders as well. And then now release, inhale. And let's go again. Exhale, connect again. Feel your deep system before you come up. Squeeze and release. And let's do it again. Exhale, so it's again more dynamic, which is more functional, okay? Because during the day we don't move very slow. You might be getting slower if you're on the 3rd trimester, but we still sort of move fairly quick, if you know what I mean. We don't do things holding for 5 seconds. So it's important to try to work again sort of on a similar pace to what you do during the day to hopefully get the pelvic floor muscles strong also during dynamic positions, dynamic movements. One more time, so you can exhale, squeeze, pelvic floor as you come up, inhale, release. Great. We're going to release the ball or cushion and let's make our way to forward kneeling. You're going to still have a bit of padding for your knees if you need it. And if your wrists are becoming stiff or they're stiff, you can go onto your knuckles instead. You can keep the knees perhaps a bit wider than hip width if that's more comfortable for your belly bump. And think again of your breath here. You can look down if you want on the first set. Breathe in, feel and see your belly expanding. Breathe out, feel your belly drawing down and in. And thinking of your pelvic floor muscles, back passage, front passage, hug the baby, and you should see that, it's quite visual. And then inhale again, let it go. So bring your neck more neutral. You can keep your eyes in front of your hands on the mat. And let's just try again. Inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, draw in, feel your pelvic floor, and as you feel that, round your back coming onto a cactus stretch. Should feel like a nice stretch for your back. Gonna inhale here, you can let it go. Expand the belly. Exhale, connect again through pelvic floor, and then come back to neutral. We're not gonna go to the cow or the extended part of the stretch, just stay neutral. Gonna inhale again. Exhale, connect again through pelvic floor, and round your back. Try to go a bit further, lift the breast one higher if you're able to. Inhale, release the pelvic floor, expand the belly. Exhale, connect again, and as you feel that connection, try to come back to neutral. Let's repeat it 3 more times. Inhale for neutral. Let's engage. Exhale, back to cactus stretch. Inhale, and exhale. Let's connect, release. 2 more. Breathe in and breathe out. You can use the breath to help you with that deep connection. And let it go as you inhale. Reconnect to your deep system as you exhale. And try to stay engaged as you come back to neutral. Last one. Inhale, release. Exhale, connect again through pelvic floor, round your back. Inhale. Exhale, connect again. Come back to neutral. And let's make our way to child's pose for a moment. You can open the hips a bit wider if you need to. And drop the hips as low as your body allows you to. If you don't go all the way down, that's fine. Keep your head relaxed, arms lengthened. And let's just stay here for a couple of breaths. And we're going to just make our way from here onto our side. So for the next exercise we're going to do, I'll give you different options and you can choose what feels more comfortable for your body. We're going to lie on our side, so you're welcome to use a bit of a cushion or pillow for your neck if you have one. I'm going to demonstrate without, so if you don't have one, you can just follow me as well. And in terms of your legs, you can have one leg over the other if this is comfortable for you. You can also do it with one pillow or a cushion between the knees if that's better for your pelvis. Or you can take one leg on front of the other. So maybe just play a little bit with each position I just mentioned and choose what feels best for your body. I'm going to stay like this, and again, if you have a cushion here, that's fine. Make sure your neck is okay, and then take the top arm straight in front of you. So we're going to get a bit of a stretch for our upper back and our shoulders, and just quite nice again to release the knee back, but we're going to try again to keep our pelvic floor going with the breath. So we're going to inhale and reach the top arm forward, lengthen the fingers. Exhale, begin to feel again your pelvic floor connection. It's good to engage on different positions, so when you're side lying, it might feel a little bit different, but you should still get that deep connection happening through back passage, front passage, and again that sensation of having the baby. And as you do that, just think of a bow and arrow motion. You're going to take your hand towards the breastbone, begin to look back. And then from here, we're going to inhale, you can release pelvic floor, and then as you exhale, come back into the front. And let's repeat that 2 more times, just like that. Inhale. Exhale, engage pelvic floor, take the hand to your breastbone, begin to twist. Don't move the knees from whatever position you're on, keep them right where they are. So the twist happens from waist up, not from waist down. Lengthen the arm again. Let's go 1 more time. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, back to the front. So we're going to extend the arm now. I'm just going to move a bit forward so I've got a space on the wall. Let's just start the same way. Inhale, exhale, and as you go towards the end position we were doing before, allow the arm to extend. Try to keep looking towards your fingers, feel the stretch in the chest and the shoulder. Inhale, and as you exhale, let's come back. So if you're on the 3rd trimester, you'll probably find this challenging because again your thoracic and spine becomes a bit more restricted. But even if you're on the first trimester, it's a lovely stretch. So if you're holding any tension through the shoulders, through the mid-back area, you probably feel this challenging as well, but it's quite nice. So even if it does feel tight, it's a lovely stretch. Just again, keep thinking of your pelvic floor with the breath. Even though it's a stretch and mobility, work for the upper mid-back area and the shoulders. Try to keep your pelvic floor going. Inhale the back. Exhale. Reconnect back to the front. Great. From here, let's just bring one leg on top of the other. You're wearing like that. I'm just going to come back a bit on the mat so you can see me better. And again, you can do this with a pillow between the knees if it's more comfortable. We're just going to bring one hand on top of the other and just feel the movement on both hips, the top one, the underneath one, and try to stop when you have one over the other. We naturally tend to bring the hips back, so if you're not sure, I prefer you're a bit more to the front, and this is going to target your glutes, so if you're more forward, you'll get more activation through the glutes. If we tend to be rolling back, we'll get more the hip flexors and the quads, and we don't want that. So maybe bring your hand back onto your baby bump, or the base of the baby bump. Inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, draw in, and then feel again that connection through back passage and front passage. And then release. So we're going to have a bit of movement on the top leg to get the glutes going, but again with the breath. So inhale, exhale, connecting to the pelvic floor, and once you feel that, float your top leg about hip height, and then come back again to rest, either if you had a cushion or one leg over the other as you inhale. Let's repeat it again. Exhale, engage again through pelvic floor, and as you get that connection, float the leg and try to stay engaged as you lift the leg, and then just slowly begin to release and let go. And make sure you also disconnect the pelvic floor properly, because it's important to both get a strong connection but also to release. We don't want to have the pelvic floor on constant tension, because that can also make it weak. We'll go again. With every muscle really, yeah? If you think of your biceps constantly just being tight, it will fatigue and then eventually becomes weak. So it's the same with your pelvic floor. Even though there's a deeper muscle, you just need to make sure you get a nice strong connection and then make sure you can switch it off. 2 more. Engage. Float the leg up. Inhale, lower down. 1 more time. So the glutes are very important for your pelvic support. You can especially get bigger and bigger. With the pregnancy, your pelvis is going to be sustaining more weight. So as your ligaments also get loose on the pelvis in preparation for the birth, we need to have a strong gluteal system so that it can support your pelvis properly to avoid pain and other issues. So from here, we're going to roll briefly onto our back. We're not going to stay here for too long. If you need an extra pillow or something for your hips so you're a bit more upright, that's fine too. I'm just going to go into brief gluteal stretch. So if you cross the leg, the foot of the leg you were working on, the top side, cross your foot over the opposite knee, and we can hold this here. Or if this is not enough for you, again, depending on how big you are with your baby bump or how your body is feeling at the moment, you can take the free leg up and we can sustain it here. The other thing you can do is maybe come in this position but rest the underneath leg on something, on a wall or on a chair, so it's a bit more supported. Or again, if you try this and this is too much, you can come back down and just keep your hand on the knee to keep it open. Otherwise, come back up. So you can keep your hand still on the knee or just support the other thigh with both hands, whatever feels good. Just take 2 deep breaths here, just to give you a bit of time. Just make sure we get a few seconds to help you relax and stretch. And let's slowly return down if you were up, uncross your leg, and let's make our way to the other side. So it's better for you to roll on your side and then come up. So it's going to protect your tummy muscles a little bit from getting any strain. And let's just go from there to the other side. So we'll just make our way slowly. You can use a kind of cushion or your arm to support your neck. You can have one leg on top of the other. You can place a pillow or cushion between them, or you can take your top leg on front, which is what I'm going to choose to do. The top arm is going to straighten, and we're going to start doing the arm opening bow and arrow variation. Inhale, lengthen your arm. Exhale, connect your pelvic floor. Bring your hand to the breastbone. Begin to twist the back, but don't extend out just yet. Look towards your elbow. Inhale. Exhale, reconnect your pelvic floor muscles and come back again to the front. Without moving your knees as much as you can. I like this position because it's very easy to feel your knees are lifting, especially the top one. So that's why I choose these. But if you're with both legs together, one on top of the other, just bring your awareness there. To make sure we're not compensating with the hips, we want to isolate the upper part of the body from the lower. Again, remember by your pelvic floor. You might notice lying on one side, your connection feels a bit easier than the other, which is normal. So all of those things that you might experience, and that's fine. I'm just going to come forward for the full arm opening. So on this one, as you get to the end, extend the arm. Try to keep looking towards your fingers. Feel the stretch on the shoulder and the chest. Inhale and exhale, come back as you reconnect through pelvic floor. And it might be this side a bit easier than the other one, or the other way around. We always have one side of the body a bit tighter. Same way we're right or left-handed, one side is more dominant. It's the same with the stretch and the mobility. One side is always a bit looser, one side is always a bit stiffer. Last one here. And back. Great, so I'm just going to come back to the mat a little bit so you can see me better. And you're going to have now one leg over the other. You can still have a pillow or cushion in between if you were like that before. Let's just take the top hand for a moment on the top hip. Roll your hips a bit forwards and back. And try to stop again where you have one hip on top of the other. So again, if you're not sure, I prefer you're a bit more forward than too far back. And then just bring the hand onto your belly bump. Let's do the first breath. Just here, engaging pelvic floor. Inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, feel your belly join in, and as you feel that, begin to connect from back passage to front passage, hug the belly, and then release. Great, so let's start the leg lift for your glute work. Inhale, exhale, connect your pelvic floor, and as you feel your pelvic floor engaging, float your top leg up about hip height, and then return down. So it's not a huge range, but if you do it properly, it will get in with your bum, your gluteal muscles, which is very important for your pelvic support. And it will protect your lower back and your pelvis, so it should help to avoid lower back pain and pelvic pain, especially towards the end of the pregnancy, when your baby is bigger and then you're carrying more weight. Just do it 2 more times as before. Exhaling, engage pelvic floor, then float your leg up. And again, make sure as you come down, you switch off smoothly, but you let it go completely, so we can reconnect again. Last one, exhale. And inhale. Great, from here let's just roll into our back. Again, you can have a couple of extra pillows if you need to come a bit more upright. If you prefer to be more in a reclined seated position, that's fine too. And we'll cross again the foot of the leg we were using over the opposite knee. We can hold this here. If this is not enough of a stretch for you, we can lift up the free thigh up. We can stay like this, but then maybe place something underneath your heels, resting your foot on a chair or on a wall. And you can keep your hand if you want on the knee, or keep it on the thigh. Again, otherwise you can stay here with your hand on the knee, just choose what works best for you. And we'll hold it again for a couple breaths, just to give it a bit of time. Make sure we relax both hips properly. From here, if your legs were up like me, take them down, otherwise just uncross the leg. And we're just going to roll again to our side to make our way back into sitting. So you can come back again to sitting cross-legged, or again on a chair, on a gym ball if you got one, just find what works best for you. And we're just going to release the neck to finish. So just going to do a couple of neck mobility and stretch exercises. So just think of your back again, lengthen. Allow your chin to drop down till you feel a gentle stretch in the back of the neck. And then from here, move your neck side to side. So as if you were looking to the right and to the left. Just keeping your breath going. So I don't want you to focus too much on pelvic floor now, just breathe in and out normal. back to the middle, and now take your ear down to the side, whichever side you want to do first. Feel the other side stretching. You can help yourself with the hand if you prefer and keep the other arm down. Otherwise, just keep it on your lap. Let's take a few breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. You can think a bit of your pelvic floor. Breathe in and go. Breathe and connect. One more time. Come back to the middle. And let's just do the same to the other side. Bring the ear to the shoulder. You can use your hand to help you keep the other hand down maybe or on your lap. You don't have to do the pull yet. You can also keep the other arm down too. And 3 breaths again. Exhaling to connect through pelvic floor. Inhaling, release. And the same. One more time. Breathe in and out. Pelvic floor on, pelvic floor. Come back to center. And we're just going to finish this, shrugging the shoulders, inhale and exhale, release. Don't worry too much about your pelvic floor connection, we're just finishing, so just try to stay relaxed. Feel the changes on your body, on your breath. One more. And so this is the end of the class. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. If you're interested in any of my online classes, please go to my website, maxiphysio.com. If you have any suggestions for any content you'd like to see on my channel, please message me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on my next video. Bye bye.